Alright, so in this video, this clip, we did our initial thermal test. This is a baseline. My friend's roommate, both of them are former Marines. They're kitted up with plate carriers, helmets, nods. This is 9:40-ish p.m. at night. It's about high 60s, low 70s. It's overcast. There's some light rain, thunderstorms around this time. Well, the roommate isn't wearing the thermal camo. This was a baseline. He's just wearing his plate carrier. But this is the first time I've ever seen footprints. We're at a dry riverbed, and the ground is almost like beach sand, very, very fine sand, and you can clearly see disturbed soil. I think the ground was absorbing heat throughout the day, and then because it's just an hour and a half past sundown, the top surface layer cooled down. But then as soon as he walks on it, disturbs it. That's why you see white footprints. My color palette is white hot. I'm flying my DJI Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced drone. So I'm actively searching for him now. I don't want to rely on those footprints. I assume they're his, but I want to try and see if I can scan and look for him. And I see something that I thought might be him, but as I get closer, it's clearly not. I don't know what that black thing is. It's cold. But that's not him, so I back off, I take off. Come on. Stop looking at that flower, or whatever that is. So I take off to try and scan again to see where he is. And as soon as I turn, there he is. He's under that tree or large bush, white hot. Now he's crouched, he's backed up against it, kind of in it, kind of underneath it a little bit, but it was very obvious that he was there. So this is the second test. It's still the roommate. Now he's wearing the Phantom Defence Thermal Ghillie. Now this is a true hide and seek. Let him go out in the field. Now I have to actively hunt and search him down. I didn't try to look for his footsteps because that's cheating. I wanted this to be a true test of, there's somebody out here. Let's see if we can detect him. And it was only after I reviewed the footage, I know where he was, and I definitely missed him, which you'll see. So I see a couple, false positives. That lighter patch of ground is clearly not him. So getting higher elevation to try and, scan a larger area, and coming up, blue circle. I didn't see it, but you can sort of see where the blue circle is. That's where he is. I didn't see that. I'm just scanning for any white hot signatures, and the thermal camo totally worked. Nothing there piqued my interest to further investigate with the drone. So I'm still scanning, actively scanning. I still don't know where he is. I only drew the circle because now I know where he is, and I can relay that to you. Still actively searching for him. There's us. That's me and my friend Aaron flying the drone. And I'm flying back over him. He's off to the right, though. Those bushes on the right-hand side of the screen. But he's off camera now. And he's on the far side of it. So there's a whole entire bush hiding him right now. And he's laying down with the thermal camo. So not that little spot is him. It's just that circle kind of gives you an idea like where he is. That's where he actually was. But it's the bush that's hiding him. Now, the little cut there. Because I waste time looking for him. So now we just said, okay, start kneeling. And as soon as I turn around, boom, there he is. Now this is interesting. He's wearing a plate carrier under this ghillie. We've tested before. We've never had anyone wear a plate carrier before, but he is heating up a lot. I've never seen the ghillie heat up like this before. I mean, it is glowing through the entire ghillie. His shoulders and his head are just heat soaked through because that plate carrier is just generating so much heat. When he came back in, he was like, it was really hot under that thing. You can see him kind of relax that the test is done. And so we told him the RTB. So this is the final test. That's me on the right and my friend's roommate. Gave him a break, and now Aaron is wearing the thermal ghillie. Had Aaron remove his plate carrier. There's no reason for him to wear it, since we already got a good test with his roommate. And this time, so on the previous test, I wasn't sure if I wasn't just in the I wasn't sure if I was in the right area and I didn't see him because of thermal camo, or was I not looking in the right area. Obviously, now that I reviewed the footage, I was in the right area. I did fly over him. I did not detect him. Part of it's also because the thermal camo does work, but it has to do with how well you use it to your natural environment. Now, we can see Aaron because he's moving and he's standing upright. But if he crouched down and made himself into a little ball, I would just assume, as I'm flying overhead, that he is just another bush. I think he has the hood off, and that's why you can see a little white speck of his head. He's wearing a helmet and he's wearing nods. But the helmet isn't, insulating his heat at all. So you can see his head. So I'm sort of tracking him, and then later I'll pan away to kind of like see if I can reacquire his position. So yeah, give it a little bit. So as soon as he turns, you can see his legs they're exposed, his head's exposed still. Now he has the full cape deployed, which normally you wouldn't, I guess. First time. So now I turned away to kind of give him a little bit of time and see if I can reacquire him. Yep, there he is. The movement is what gives him away, and of course his heat a little bit. But like if he crouched down, but of course this wasn't part of the test. I wasn't telling him to like actively hide from this right now. He's just moving to a location where he'll hide behind a bush, and you know, now that I know where he is, can I find him? How well does the thermal camo actually hide him? And then he'll take off the thermal camo. So yeah, he's still walking. So the walking is going to give you away, right? Granted, he's not actively trying to hide from the drone right now. He can see the drone. He knows where the drone is. So it'd be different. It'd be a different kind of game. He was actively trying to not be detected. Right now, he's just getting in position. So I turn away to kind of give him, his privacy. And yeah, I don't see him. I know his last known position was just kind of in this area, so I'm going to further investigate. Just because I'm cheating, I know where he was last, and he's only walking. He's not going to move that far. So I'm going to start panning. And yep, I see him. That black speck. That's him. His feet are exposed, so that's something for people to learn. Hide your feet. But it's interesting, his head and shoulders are a lot colder. See how dark they are? So now that we've acquired him, we tell him to, get up and take the ghillie off and lay back down so I can get a good positive result of what it would look like if he was trying to hide without the ghillie. So you can see like his hands or arms, whatever that was glowing, along with his feet. So he stood up to take the ghillie off. And as you see, he lays down. It's very obvious. So the test is done. We tell him to RTB, and I follow him a little bit with the drone. So he's walking back, ghillie in hand. We tell him over the radio to put the ghillie back on as he's walking back. So here he's putting it back on, just to get more footage of a walking thermal ghillie. Right, like the the shade of heat blends in pretty good with the bushes. If he's standing still and his back is turned to the drone, I would not detect him in this environment. So now you can see there's a little bit of heat soak in his shoulders. It's bleeding through a little bit. And then you see the soil got disturbed as he went down that little slope. That's it.